Welcome to the first edition of the Warrior Report, a segment for soldiers and their families of the 1st Brigade Combat Team, 10th Mountain Division. I'm Specialist Luke Allen.
And I'm Specialist Jason Jordan. Today on the report, we take a look at the first few weeks of the Warrior Brigade's journey to Kirkuk, Iraq, including the activities that took place in Kuwait before the brigade headed north.
Soldiers explosively hit the ground in Kuwait during a live-fire mortar exercise at Udari Range near Camp Buehring. 3 battalions within the 1st BCT fired more than 200 rounds using 120mm, 81mm, and 60mm sized mortars. Fire! The training was also designed to familiarize the soldiers with their weapon systems before moving into Iraq for a combat tour. CFLIC requires that all weapon systems within a unit must be test-fired during the unit's wait in Kuwait.
September 11th is a date that will certainly live in infamy, and for soldiers stationed overseas, it gives reassurance and remembrance to why they serve. As a further testament of their loyalty, several 1st Brigade soldiers chose to re-enlist on September 11th during their stay in Kuwait.
Just because soldiers are stationed far from home doesn't mean that they can't take time out of their busy schedules to remember those who died on September 11th, 2001. The permanent party at Camp Buehring, Kuwait held a 30-minute remembrance to the fallen and ended the ceremony with a bagpipe rendition of Amazing Grace.
It's not every day that you get to hang out with a family member in a combat zone, but 2 soldiers in Kuwait had the opportunity to do just that. Senior Chief Randy Luganbell is the father of Private Michael Luganbell of the 1st Brigade Combat Team's Brigade Support Battalion. The 2 are from Yazoo City, Mississippi, and were happy to see each other in Kuwait, if only for a few days. Luganbell says that he prays for his son every day and that it was tough at first to have 2 family members deploy around the same time.
My wife's a real strong lady. The whole 20 years we've been married, 21 years, I've seen her cry one time. And the second time I heard her cry when Joey was coming over. She said, "My baby's gone."
Michael says that his father was his inspiration for joining the service. Senior Chief Luganbell has an impressive military career, having served since the Vietnam War.
It is said that Chuck Norris doesn't breathe, he holds air hostage. Luckily for service members at Camp Buehring, Kuwait, the big screen action hero released his hold on air during a surprise visit to the camp's main dining facility. Hundreds of service members, including soldiers of the 10th Mountain Division, lined up for photos and autographed memorabilia of the action star. The surprise visit was part of Norris's tour through deployed regions to thank the troops for their service.
After weeks of training in Kuwait, it was finally time for the 1st BCT to head north into Iraq. Most of the 3,500 soldiers with the 1st Brigade flew by either C-130 or C-17 aircrafts for the 2-hour flight. The Warrior Brigade will assume responsibilities in and around the city of Kirkuk in northern Iraq. They will be replacing the 3rd Brigade, 25th Infantry Division out of Hawaii. That's all the time we have for this week. Stay tuned for more stories from the front lines.
Back to you, Drum TV.